So at the half, Steve, gold medal game here at the 2014 Junior National Championships. It's Saskatchewan out in front 44-29, and we're going to send it down to Adrienne South with Wendy Gittens.
I am joined by Wendy Gittens, Executive Director for Wheelchair Basketball Canada. Now, this June in Toronto, it is the Women's Worlds. Can you tell me about that tournament?
Yes, so we're very thrilled to be hosting the 2014 Women's World Championships in Toronto at the Mattamy Athletic Centre from June 20th to the 28th. It'll feature 12 teams from across the world competing for gold. It'll feature over 400 athletes, coaches, volunteers, officials, delegates. So it's the largest Women's World Championship in the history of the sport. It's the first time since 1994 that the event will be held separately from the men's event.
And now, we first met at the U25s in St. Catharines, and at that championship, there were 12 women, and they were taking part in the Futures program. That's continuing into the Women's Worlds. Can you tell me a bit about the program?
Yes, so we're continuing on from 2011, and we'll host the Futures program again. We'll have 12 athletes from across the country come into Toronto to attend, participate in a series of workshops around education and sports-specific and experiential activities that will hopefully open their eyes to what it takes to compete at the elite level.
And obviously a big component of that is learning leadership. Can you just speak a little bit to how leadership helps in everyday life and in wheelchair basketball?
Yeah, one of the key things that we'll focus on in some of the workshops will be developing that capacity. And all of the athletes will be asked to complete a project that they'll take back into their communities and implement. And we're hoping that giving back and building that capacity will develop future leaders of the sport.
Excellent. And what kind of, from the U25s, or what are things going forward from that have impacted this upcoming championship?
Well, we were able to learn a lot from the U25s and build some programs around it. So we have a very comprehensive legacy program that we're working on that features a schools program in the GTA area, the Futures program that we just talked about. We're doing an international workshop, congress, where we'll talk about the development of the sport for female athletes, and an officials classification clinic as well. So we've grown sort of our hosting capacity, and we've learned lots from that event in 2011.
And I guess for you, last question, being as involved as executive director, what has kind of been your most memorable moment in that role?
Oh, there's been many. I think probably the most memorable was in 2006 at the World Championships, where I was able to actually be there and see both our men's and women's team win gold. That was a real highlight.
All right, well, thank you very much for this. That is Wendy Gittens, Executive Director for Wheelchair Basketball Canada. And with that, I'll send things back over to you, Tim.
Well, thanks very much, Adrienne. And of course, on sportscanada.tv, you'll be able to catch every single game at that World Championship, June 20th to 28th. If you can't make it to the Mattamy Centre in person, make sure you tune in to sportscanada.tv. We'll have all the action live, plus some very special features. Coach's Clipboard will make a resurgence in a slightly different form. There'll be lots of athlete and coach interviews, plenty of special features, and of course it'll be coming to you live from the Mattamy Centre. So June 20th to 28th, mark that in your calendars.